got a no heat call. The building is cold. So let's see what the boiler's doing. Pump is on. That says 60 degrees. And this one's messed up. Pump is on. Degrees, it's calling. So we got an alarm. 1, 2, 3. 3 flash, flame failure condition. And then we have alarm on stage 2. 1 flash, low air condition. Let's check the filter. Usually low air condition is the inducer, from my experience, or a plugged filter. Actually pretty brand new. So that's not it. So let's check in here. Let's check in here. There's 2 inducers in here. There's one right here, and then there's one on the very back. Might be able to spin this one and see. Issue. So that one is having trouble turning on. I'm gonna check the motor, like trying to spin it, see how free it is, because it could just be the capacitor. And then I need to check that back one too. So I'm gonna have to take the top off, because this is the only way to get to it, is you gotta take the top off. Which you kind of hate doing, because this thing is falling apart, and every time you take it off, it's just I have a new one, it's a stainless steel one, but so you just gotta take your screws out right here. This comes up off the exhaust here. Then just gotta take off all your panel and then pull the top off. So let's go ahead and do that and see what's going on with these 2 inducers. Before I rip this top off, I just want to show you something. So one thing I noticed is the slider is taken out on this one. The slider is basically your air adjustment for this side, for your inducer. See how this side, your stage B has one. This one doesn't. So this thing is full blast. And this one has reduction to it, which this chamber's got to have a certain amount of pressure in it to meet with your gas. That's how you get your combustion. So if this is off, your combustion is going to be off, and it's going to run like shit. And another thing I noticed is that's water. And this is open to your electrical side right here. So you get water falling down. That's a no-go right there. You can see just rust, and this is your gas side right here. I believe they've already changed one gas valve. This one right here. These ones are old. That's why I hate, I don't know, these boilers, these Lochinvars are not meant to be outside, in my opinion. I mean, this morning it was about 30 degrees. Right now it's probably about a little over 40 in SoCal. That's pretty rare, but we had a pretty decent rainstorm last night. So that could obviously contribute. If you have air blowing in here, warm air or any type of air, it's cold up here, you're going to get condensation, dew point. I've had that happen with another boiler similar to this. It was a newer one, and it didn't have this style inducers. It had more of like a duct coming out from it, and somehow there's some type of leakage coming from somewhere in it from when it was on. And during the winter, the condensation would build up and it kept taking out the screen. This one just has, I call it the Christmas tree. Your codes here, basically your display of on your ignition side, and then you have your just temp controller right here. But on the newer ones, it's got an actual screen, and it shows you, and you can go through it, look at parameters. That's how you set it. But that thing was getting water on it, and it was basically shorting out, and then if that thing goes out, the boiler just locks up. So eventually what I had to do, I couldn't find the leak where it was coming from. I just basically insulated the bottom of this, and then that pretty much took care of that. Now I wouldn't condensate and drip down onto your electrical side. But so as soon as I get this inducer rolling, we're going to hook up a manometer and check and adjust this to where it should be. Alright, I got the top off. As you can see here, this is rubbing. You can see a little bit of marks. I didn't see any rub throughs. Get some zip ties, tie these up, and they go, get your zip tie holders right there. Just put it up here. Oh, it's not rubbing right here on the ground. So this inducer, as you can see, there's two. This one spins pretty smooth. This one's newer, as you can tell, but it spins pretty smooth. So I'm gonna check the capacitor on that, because it's probably just the cap. And then since I'm already got the lid off, I'm gonna check this capacitor too. This inducer, the wheel looks a little little out of balance to me. So when I start it up, we'll see how bad it is. And kind of go from there. So let me get the capacitor off and then I'll check it. Alright, I got both caps out. Here's the newer one that's on this one that was blocking up. Here's the older one. So we're gonna check both right now. It's 4.7. And 4.2. So this one is a little low, but this one is not. So that motor could be bad. But we're in a plus or minus 6%. So I'm gonna just grab a cap real quick. Let's see. All right, I got the cap back on there, but that doesn't matter anyways. I don't think it's capacitor. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna verify we have proper voltage going to the motor now. So I'm just gonna disconnect the plug and meter up to it, and we'll see. So we got ground, neutral, red, and black. Red and black are hot, black's your high speed, red's your low speed. I'm pretty sure this is always on high speed. I've never seen these Lochinvars, at least on this series, adjust the speeds. It's always been just a regular speed, maintaining high speed, but we'll check both. So, go ahead and plug in neutral, do black first. Volts. Okay, let's turn it on. This one is working fine. So it's only this one. Turn it back on. So let's see what we got. So I'm only getting 2.5. Okay. Switch. Now I got 111. And that's on the low speed. So it looks like we're only running low speed. Just go and turn the boiler off. So we got 111. I want to check voltage on this. Just to verify. 113 volts, 12.7. So we're running on low speed. Oh, there went to high. Yeah, so we got proper voltage, so that motor's is no go. Alright, so it looks like we're changing out the inducer. Got proper voltage. So it seems like this will kick on in a low speed at first for pre-purge, and then once it calls for combustion, it'll go on to the high speed, because it fired up on red, which was our low first, and then it switched over. I actually heard the relays clicking and switched over to high, and that's why I switched the leads to black, and I got my 113 volts. So, all right, let's switch it out. This thing's it's a little stupid. I have to get in here and take these out. Take this bracket off, and it'll come out from there. So, let me get it taken apart, and I gotta go run and grab. I have a spare one I know somewhere, because I got like 2 of them when I had to change this one, so I just figured why not grab a few. This was a couple years ago, so luckily I actually got those before COVID and all that hit, because you never know, you go and like, hey, I need the inducer assembly for this through Lochinvar, and they'll tell you, oh well, it's not going to be here for 2 months or whatever, it's in China. Well, then you're screwed. So luckily I got an extra one. Alright, let's change it out. Alright, so I'm about to get the new inducer tied in here. As I mentioned, this thing's kind of a pain in the butt. So if you ever have to take or change out this inducer, basically you got to take out your screws here holding basically your little angled duct right here. That way you can kind of move it out of the way, because there's a bracket right here that sits in between. This has a flange on each end. This bracket sits in between it. This bolt sticking out, this bolt, there's 2 on the other side, that's from the motor. So when you have this bracket in between it and you tighten it down with these locking nuts, it will hold it in place. The angled duct here to the basically the outlet of that inducer. You just need to make sure whatever you take apart, you know, it goes back exactly the same way. So like I said, you have a bracket here, and then you actually have one down here, which is right here, and this is going to slide down underneath. As you can see, the bracket right here sits on top. What that does is when it sits on top, it just holds it down to here. But I mean, I marked where my slider is at. That way when I put this back together, I'll put the slider for the air adjustment back to where it was. But yeah, put these back on real quick, and then we'll fire it up and see what's going on, and then hook up the manometer and we'll check the airflow. Alright, got it all buttoned up. Let's go and fire it up. Like a kitten. That's right. Alright, let me get my manometer, hook up, and check out our air pressure here. See if we have to adjust on this guy, if we have to do anything on this one too. Alright, let's hook up. Alright, so I got my manometer out, and I'm going to start on this end first and then do this one. Lochinvar recommends anywhere from 1.1 to 1.4 on your chamber pressure here, inches of water column. So we'll tie up right here and see what our pressure is. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to add that slider because I feel like it's too much air. But let's go and hook up. You have a connection on your T right here. You have one right here, you have one right here, you have one right here. This ties into your pressure switch. Stage 1 ties in over there, that pressure switch. When this boiler is running, you don't ever want to pull these out. If you have nothing connected, it'll trip that pressure switch and it'll lock out. So make sure you're careful doing that. Let's go and turn our manometer on. Let's do a quick 0. Plug. On. Okay, let's turn it on. That's showing 1.7. So that is a little high. So like I said, I'm going to put that adjuster in there and adjust it how it should be. Try it now. Now we're at about 1 inch. So let's adjust it a little bit. About 1.3. Okay, now we're gonna hook up to this side and just make sure that we're good. should be your max. And then about 1.1 is your minimum. I would suggest that. Let's see. Pretty sure we're lit. So we're lit on stage 2, but we are not lit on 1. 1, 2, 3. Flame fell. Condition. So we need to check the igniter. Stage 1. See what's going on. So stage 2 is lit right now. There is a peephole to check right here, but I mean it sucks, so I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you'll be able to see anything in there. I don't think I can pick anything on the camera. Let me get a quick look. Shit. Let me check the other side. There's another one on this side. It's right here. Oh, okay. See if you can see in there. There we go. You can see that. Nice blue flame. That red at the top is your heat exchanger. There's probably some, this is probably dirty. Needs to be changed. But, gotta do what you gotta do. So let me get my meter real quick. Let's check the amp draw on that igniter. Turn it off. So when you're checking your amps, your igniter harness right here, there's stage A or 1. Actually, I'm sorry, this is number 2. See, it's coming over here. So that's the second. Your first stage is right here, actually. It's hiding. So pull this guy's out. And it's just 2 grays. This is where you're going to check amps. Should be above 3.2. So thermometer again. Looking good there. Let's check our amp draw. Just want to show you the amp draw. This real quick. So I'm not getting amp draw out of stage 1. See, there we go. See that? 3.3, 3.4, 3.5. 3.6. So I'm getting amp draw on this. I'm not getting one here. Here's our harness. Yeah, that thing. Sketchy. So go get a new igniter. Go from there. Alright, I got my new igniter. I got the panel off down here. You can see it's pretty dirty. So let me get my brush. Just brush this out. Before I go and actually take this out, I'm gonna check the resistance and compare it to a new one. See what it's showing us, because the resistance is good and this igniter is okay, and more likely this module's bad. It's not sending out our voltage to the igniter. So let's grab a meter. Kill him, Smalls. So we're about 80 ohms. New one here. Let's take out this guy. Boom, boom, boom. careful. It's like a weird porcelain material. It screws. You don't kind of use a power drill on it. Just use a screwdriver. Take it out. Be careful with the gasket. Put the new one in. And just make sure you're connecting it here. That's it. All right, I got the new igniter in. On a new one, you want to measure in between 40 to 80 ohms. The bad one was way higher than that. So I got that new one in there. I'm going to show you can check your flame sense on here. There's a test port. And you'll use your microamp setting on your meter, and you'll check that. So it's fired up. Earlier I wasn't getting an amp signal on this igniters on stage A or stage 1. As you can see, we got an amp draw now. Now let's check the flame signal. Actually, this is going to be kind of hard to do. So I got to hold the leads on there. Let's see if you can see it. If you can see that, it shows 2.2, 2.3 microamps DC signal, 2.4. That's our flame sense right there. Anything under 1 microamp, according to these are made by Finwall. They make the rate pack. It's the same fucking pretty much module, just it's wired. The connections are slightly different for the Lochinvar, so they call it the RLY2402. But they say anything under 1 microamp, basically you're gonna lose flame. So that's how you can check it on there with your meter. But other than that, this is taken care of. Boiler's up and running. Adjusted our air pressure in our chamber. We're good. Show you some flame real quick. Hopefully the camera doesn't die. Show you some flame. Other than that, we're rocking. Alright, see you on the next one. I want to add this real quick before the video dies. Since this motor is bad, I'll just end up getting a new motor for this and swap it, keep this fan housing, because this housing's still good. That wheel's still in good shape, so just change this motor out and that's it. That way we don't have to get a whole new assembly. But yep, wanted to share that.